The 3 things you need to do to build a personal brand. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Future in 5. My name is Jacob Morgan. This is where I share my thoughts, ideas, and commentary on the future of work in 5 minutes or less. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I just came back from a bachelor party not too long ago, so I'm still a little frazzled getting back into the groove of things. But during the weekend, during the bachelor party, don't ask me why, but for some reason the idea of a personal brand popped into my head. And I started thinking about what makes a personal brand, and why are some personal brands successful? Why are others not so successful? And I started thinking over the course of my 8 years of being independent and trying to build a personal brand for myself, and what I have found to be the most successful, and just things that I've seen other people do. And so I wanted to share those 3 things with you. And I think they're, like I said, only 3 things you need to know in order to build your personal brand. And those 3 things are consistency, frequency, and visibility. So let's start off with the first one, which is consistency. The big challenge that I see with a lot of people is that they are not consistent with their message. So for example, my message and my branding is all around the future of work. The workplace is changing. I'm trying to help you understand how the workplace is changing. Oftentimes what people do is they'll pick a topic, they'll spend a couple of months on that topic, and then they'll jump to another topic. So they might focus on leadership, and next thing you know, a couple months down the road, they're talking about social media, or they're talking about customer service, or they're talking about who knows what. But it's not very consistent with the message. And so what that means is that people that come to find your content have a hard time trying to understand what it is that you're a subject matter expert at. Are you a customer service experience executive or thought leader? Are you a thought leader on management and leadership? Like, what is it that you were trying to build yourself around? You know, for me, over the course of my career, I've gone through a little bit of an evolution. I started off in social media years ago, social CRM, collaboration. And for the last few years, where I've kind of settled into my happy place has been this idea of the future of work. So consistency is the first thing that we need to think about. What is the message that you want to get across? Stick with it. Don't change. Don't jump ship, don't shift around. You have to be very, very consistent with your message, and stick with it. And if you find that you keep changing back and forth, then you need to just stop for a minute and reevaluate and go back to square one around what it is that, you want to convey. What's your message? So that's number 1, consistency. The second one is frequency. So once you have a message and you understand what it is that you want to build yourself around, you have to talk about it all the time. Frequency is very, very important. And what I mean by frequency is that do it frequently. In my case, I write articles every week. I do videos every week. I do a podcast every week. I do a lot to consistently get that message out there. It's not something that you can just do once a month or once, every couple of weeks. You have to be very consistent and frequent with your message. Oftentimes, it might mean repeating the same thing more than once. I've certainly done articles or videos or presentations on the same topic more than once. And that's because you always have a different audience. You have different people that are finding and discovering your content, and that's fine. If you need to repeat things, it's fine to do it more than once. I mean, you're not copying and pasting. You might change things around a little bit, but the key is be frequent with your message. Every time somebody finds you, they need to think about, okay, your name, this is what you're associated with. For my purposes, I want people to think, Jacob Morgan, future of work. So everything that I do is very focused on the future of work. I'm very consistent with my message, and I'm very frequent with my message, as you can tell by these videos. So those are 2 things. 1, consistency, 2, frequency, and the third is visibility. So if you're consistent with your message, you're frequent with your message, the third crucial part is to be visible. If people don't see what it is that you're doing, then the first 2 are a complete moot point, because you could be consistent and you could be frequent, but if you don't have an audience for it, then who cares? So the third one is this idea of visibility. So the things that you talk about, the things that you believe in, the things that you're so passionate about, you need to be able to get that out. So you have to be very visible with what you're doing. In my case, how do I achieve visibility? Well, I speak at many conferences and events every year. I do webinars. I do a podcast every week. I do 2 videos every week. I try to do 1 to 2 articles a week. And I do these in places that have visibility. So I contribute to Forbes. I put videos up on YouTube. I interview thought leaders or executives that have their own brand built around them, and I share those stories. So I try to do whatever I can to be as visible as possible. I speak in front of large groups every year. Every conference that I go to is either hundreds or thousands of people that I do keynotes or talks in front of. So I try to be as visible as I possibly can. I try to contribute to other places when I can, to other publications. I try to be a guest on other people's podcasts. I try to do whatever I can to be as visible as possible. And there are a lot of different things that you can think about here. There are, of course, different media formats. Some people buy ads. Some people speak at conferences. I try to do as much as I possibly can. So visibility is absolutely crucial, because if you don't have that audience, nobody's going to know it. For example, the newsletter that I have, where I send out a newsletter every week, that has been great because there are thousands of people that are interested in the future of work that get this content. So those are the 3 crucial things that I think you, me, anybody else should be thinking about when trying to build a personal brand. The first one is this idea of consistency, picking your message, sticking with it, making sure that when people think of your name, this is the thing that they think about. So in my case, Jacob Morgan, future of work, that's what I want people to think about. The second one is frequency. Be as frequent as you possibly can with your message, send it out as many times as you can, and be frequent with it. Talk about it a couple times a week if you can. And the third and final one, just to recap, is, again, visibility. Be as visible as you can with that message so a lot of people can see it, can consume it, and hopefully spread it on your behalf. So I think those are the 3 crucial pillars towards building a personal brand. Really curious to hear what you think. Have you built a personal brand for yourself? What do you think some crucial components are? Perhaps there's somebody else that you know that has built a personal brand for themselves. What do you think they've been doing that's so successful? If you want to get access to more episodes of these videos or a podcast or articles or anything else that I'm a part of, you can visit thefutureorganization.com. Of course, I am on Twitter at JacobM. So you type in JacobM, twitter.com/JacobM, you'll find me. And if you have any suggestions or ideas or topics that you want me to explore here, you can always email me, jacob@thefutureorganization.com. That's it for this video, and I'll see you next time on an episode of The Future in 5. Hey, are you interested in the future of work? If so, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get all the latest content on the future of work and stay up to date on all the latest trends and happenings. Not to mention, you will make me very, very happy. Make sure to subscribe.